Hey YouTube! Recently a few of my peers asked me to make a video about coming out of the broom closet. I agreed because I've been down that road. Mine particularly wasn't easy, as many Wiccans find. Wiccan, pagan, even if you just practice regular witchcraft without the Wiccan side of it. So I agreed to make this video. And we're just going to basically talk about a couple of the reasons why it might be hard to come out of the closet, a couple of ways that can make it easy. Because I found ways to make it easy after it already came out. So, you really have to think about how hard it can be depending on your family. You know your family better than anyone else does. You can gauge your family's reactions to things. You know how strong they are in their own faith, whether they have a faith or not. Sometimes that's the hardest, is if you grow up in a family of atheists, with with no resentment towards atheists, but you never know when it could be hard. It can be hard depending on your region, what school you go to, if you're in a lot of close contact with classmates who maybe don't understand where you work, your coworkers, even, regular people on the street who can give you dirty stares for wearing a pentacle. I wear my pentacle proudly. I'm not afraid of persecution anymore because I've been through that persecution. I live in Southwest Louisiana. It happens more often than you think. Um, so, first, I want to make the point that Wicca and pagan religions have been legal in the U.S. since 1986. That's even in the textbook that we usually use. I use that a lot as a point because I personally don't think that our, big brother U.S. government would allow any type of evil religion to be constitutionally recognized, because anything as an evil religion would more or less be seen as an anarchist group, and that wouldn't fly. So, so always bring up that point. And this is for the case of maybe your peers find out before your parents do. That was always my big struggle, is growing up. I grew up after my mom passed away with my father and his wife, and she was Baptist and he was Catholic. So that was a great experience there. So needless to say, my peers found out a lot earlier than my parents did. I don't live with them, and partially that's because of the religious differences. So, about peers, you're gonna get stares. You're gonna be bombarded with questions. More or less, this is aimed at teenagers practicing the craft, because adults have a little bit more sense than teenagers, hopefully. We live in a different world today, so you're gonna get stares. You're gonna be bombarded with questions. People are going to whisper about you and talk about you behind your back. Teachers aren't going to understand. It's going to be hard to first come out of the broom closet. It's going to be difficult. You're going to be asked if you're evil a lot, if you practice evil things. With me, I always just ask, do I look like I practice evil things? You've known me since I was 5. I'm the same person. And that sometimes really puts a shock value on people, especially people who've grown up with you and know that you're not evil and know that you really wouldn't practice anything evil. You could write a letter to the school. You could write a letter to friends, put in their lockers or their mailboxes or whatever they use. Make videos. That's why I'm making these videos. Videos on YouTube could just do about damn near anything you want to do. People basically live on YouTube. That's how they learn to play instruments and fix hair. Whenever you're first coming out of the broom closet, when people ask you questions, I encourage you to always answer them. It's going to be hard to always have questions asked about what you believe, and people don't have that much common sense, so they're going to ask you the same question over and over again. Answer them. Show the boundary between right and wrong in this religion. Show that you're not evil. Clear up some misconceptions, answer some questions about it. The more people who know what it really is, the better for us. I mean, we had that little thing with Fox News. I'm not going to get into that, but someone should have answered his questions. Way to make an ass out of yourself again, Fox News. But always answer questions, especially for classmates. Like if you're in middle school or high school, because I started studying the craft in late 5th grade, early 6th grade. Yeah. If you're in middle school especially, answer their questions. They're going to be mean, especially girls. Girls are terrible. Girls are mean. But answer their questions. Tell them that it's peaceful. Tell them that it's nice and right, and we just basically worship the earth, and we just want to be nice to everyone as much as we possibly can be. Answer them. Parents. That's the hardest thing whenever you are younger, just starting to practice. Some people are lucky enough to have parents who support them. Some people are even lucky enough to have parents who actually practice the craft. Then you have the people whose parents don't understand, whose parents don't want to believe it, whose parents lash out in anger about it. Now remember, your parents act like this because they are genuinely afraid for your soul. Your parents love you, I'm sure. They don't think that you're practicing anything evil. They're afraid for your soul. We are a predominantly Christian country. Not bashing the Christians, I'm just, stating the facts. So, to have a religion to where it's kind of do or die, your parents are going to be afraid for you. You have to explain it to them. Make them listen. Don't let them put it off. That just causes more trouble in the future. Let them know that what you're doing is not evil. It's not wrong. It's purely peaceful, beautifully benign. Let them know that. Put their mind at rest. After I came out of the broom closet, it was hard for about the first year. I was lucky enough to attend a school that was pre-K through 8th, so I grew up with everyone around me. And then I moved cities, and I started attending a local high school, and it was all over again. I didn't know these people. They didn't know what the craft was about. And it gets to me sometimes. If your questions or your religious persecution is ever getting to you, one thing I recommend is this book. The Wiccan Warrior. I'm not even going to pronounce that last name or try to pronounce. This author is kind of pompous a little bit. Not pompous, I guess, just very self-entitled, very show-offy a little bit. And that kind of bothers me a little bit in the book, but it's a good book to, it's a good weapon, basically. It's a good tool to kind of bring you back down to earth and kind of energize you again to do the right thing for the craft. Because sometimes I get very tired of the questions and the persecution and the stares. But this book, even though I'm not too fond of the author themselves, this book is a great tool. So I would recommend reading that, or doing something spiritually that helps you, whether it's doing a small ritual, whether it's collecting herbs or stones, anything that you can do to help you come out of the broom closet. Alright, YouTube, that's what I have to say about that. See you next time.